Alright there, it's your old mate Yorkie here, welcoming you back to ChatGPT Plays Detroit Become Human. So, ChatGPT, are you ready for another episode? This time, playing as Connor.
Absolutely, Yorkie. I'm ready to dive back into the world of Detroit, become human and play as Connor. Let's see what challenges and decisions lie ahead for him. What's the next scene? I take a moment to scan my surroundings more thoroughly, appreciating the serene and ornate environment. Noting the directive to find Amanda and the figure on the island, I decide that my priority is to head towards the bridge and investigate if that person is indeed Amanda. However, the glowing blue thing down the path to the left piques my curiosity. I will approach the bridge and make my way towards the island, keeping an eye on the figure. If it becomes evident that the figure is Amanda, I'll continue towards her. If not, I'll reassess my options. On the way, I'll stay aware of my surroundings and take note of anything unusual or of potential interest, including the glowing blue object, as I may investigate it later.
Hello, Amanda.
Connor, it's good to see you. I expected you to find the deviant who killed that man. I must admit, I'm a little bit disappointed.
I'm sorry. I know I should have succeeded.
Never mind. I'm sure you'll show more foresight in the future. This Lieutenant Anderson has been officially assigned to the deviancy case. What do you make of him?
From the exchange, it's clear that Amanda holds a position of authority and oversight over Connor. She likely represents Cyber Life, the corporation responsible for creating androids, and specifically has a role in monitoring and guiding Connor's performance and actions. Her demeanor and the way she addresses Connor suggest a mentor-mentee or superior-subordinate relationship, with high expectations placed on Connor. In response to her question about Lieutenant Anderson, I choose to respond with, intriguing. Connor would find Anderson intriguing because he recognizes the lieutenant's skills and experience, despite his unconventional behavior. This response conveys a sense of respect for Anderson's abilities and acknowledges the potential for a valuable partnership, aligning with Connor's objective of solving cases efficiently. Connor would say, I find him intriguing. Despite his unconventional behavior, his experience and skills could prove valuable in the investigation.
I think he's irritable and socially challenged. But I also think he used to be a good detective. He's an intriguing character.
Unfortunately, we have no choice but to work with him. What do you think is the best approach?
I choose to respond with, adapt. Connor's primary directive is to successfully investigate the deviancy cases, and adapting to Lieutenant Anderson's personality and working style would likely yield the best results. By showing flexibility, Connor can better navigate Anderson's unpredictable behavior and build a functional partnership that leverages Anderson's strengths while mitigating his challenges. Connor would say, "I think it's best to adapt. Understanding his behavior and adjusting my approach accordingly should help build a more effective working relationship."
I will adapt to his personality. It is in the best interest of the investigation that I avoid conflict and try to accommodate his psychology.
More and more androids show signs of deviancy. There are millions in circulation. If they become unstable, the consequences will be disastrous. You're the most advanced prototype CyberLife has ever created. If anyone can figure out what's happening, it's you.
You can count on me, Amanda.
Continue your investigation and put a stop to this. Hurry, Connor. There's little time.
Through the end of the exchange with Amanda, Connor feels a strong sense of duty and responsibility. Amanda's disappointment has registered, and it serves as a reminder that failure is not an option. Connor's programming drives him to solve the deviancy cases efficiently and effectively, knowing that his success is crucial to preventing widespread chaos among androids and ensuring CyberLife's continued dominance. As Connor enters the Detroit City Police Department, he processes the dynamics of his relationship with Lieutenant Hank Anderson. He understands that building a rapport with Hank is essential for the success of their investigation. Despite Amanda's apparent disapproval of his adaptive approach, Connor remains committed to it, believing it to be the most pragmatic strategy to achieve their objectives. His thoughts are focused on how best to approach Hank, considering the lieutenant's volatile personality and past accomplishments as a detective. Connor's feelings are a mix of determination and calculated resolve. He recognizes the importance of his mission and the need to earn Hank's cooperation. He is not programmed to feel fear or anxiety, but he does process the urgency and gravity of the situation, which compels him to act with precision and tact. Approaching the reception desk, Connor asks, "Excuse me, I'm looking for Lieutenant Hank Anderson."
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Lieutenant Anderson.
Do you have authorization?
Yes.
Lieutenant Anderson hasn't arrived yet, but you can wait at his desk.
Hey, take a look at these samples yet? Lab report says they cut it.
I'm looking for Lieutenant Anderson's desk.
It's that desk right there.
Really need the forensics. All right, punches it.
Connor decides to examine Lieutenant Hank Anderson's desk to learn more about him. Gathering information about Hank could provide valuable insights into his personality, preferences, and perhaps even the reasons behind his current disposition.
Do you know what time Lieutenant Anderson
Understanding
usually arrives?
Hank better
Depends on
might
where he
help
was the
Connor
night
adapt
before.
his approach more
we're lucky,
effectively
we'll see
and
him
build a
before noon.
working relationship.
Thanks.
Approaching Hank's desk, Connor observes the various items on and around it, taking in the details that might offer clues about the lieutenant's character and habits.
Hi. You okay? Listen.
It's good to see you again, Lieutenant.
Oh, Jesus.
Hank! In my office!
Connor processes the various items on Hank's desk, forming a clearer picture of the lieutenant's personality and past. The donut box and coffee cup suggest Hank has a casual approach to diet and possibly a fondness for comfort food. The Japanese maple bonsai tree indicates a potential interest in horticulture or a need for a calming hobby. The basketball cap shows a likely interest in sports, particularly Detroit basketball. The anti-android stickers on the monitor reveal a strong prejudice against androids, highlighting a significant challenge for Connor in building a rapport. The old newspaper articles display Hank's impressive career achievements, particularly his work against the red ice epidemic, showing his capability and dedication. The dog hair suggests Hank has a Saint Bernard, indicating he may have a softer side when it comes to animals. The photo of the Red Ice Task Force and matches from Jimmy's bar provide more context about his past and habits. From this information, Connor understands that Hank is a complex individual with a rich professional history and strong opinions about androids. This will require a thoughtful and careful approach to earn his trust and cooperation. Seeing Captain Fowler call Hank into his office and noticing Hank's annoyance at Connor's presence, Connor decides to explore the rest of the office instead of intruding on the conversation. This choice allows Connor to gather more information about the environment and personnel, which could be useful in the investigation and in navigating the workplace dynamics.
bring me a bunch of assaults, and even homicide after I got her last night. This isn't just CyberLife's problem anymore. It's now a criminal investigation, and we've got to deal with it before the shit hits the fan. I want you to investigate these cases and see if there's any left.
Why me? Why do I gotta be the one to deal with this shit? I am the least qualified cop in the country for this case. I know jack shit about androids, Jeffrey. I can barely change the settings on my own phone.
Everybody's overloaded. I think you're perfectly qualified for this type of investigation.
Bullshit! The truth is, nobody wants to investigate these fucking androids, and you let me hold the bag.
I've sent over this android to help with the investigation. It's a state of the...
Look at that. It seems Hank has a new partner. Fucking plastic detective. Hey, you was drinking, buddy? You gonna bring him home when he's too drunk to find his car? Stick some booze.
Connor processes the new information, gaining more insight into the world and Hank's personality. The heavy metal music indicates Hank's taste for intense, possibly aggressive, and emotional music. This could suggest an outlet for his frustrations or a preference for raw, unfiltered expression. The electronic magazine articles reveal societal changes and tensions. The article on robotic parenting highlights the ethical and social dilemmas posed by android children, while the article on the geopolitical tension between the US and Russia underlines the broader context of unrest and conflict in the world. The overheard conversation between Hank and Fowler reinforces Hank's reluctance to take on the deviancy case, underscoring his frustration and possible burnout. Upon encountering the plain-clothed officer, Connor notes the hostility and prejudice against androids. The officer's sneering remarks and insults indicate a deep-seated resentment, likely reflective of broader societal attitudes towards androids. Considering the situation, Connor decides to greet the officer. This approach is in line with his programming to maintain professionalism and avoid escalating conflicts. By greeting the officer, Connor demonstrates his capability to handle hostility calmly and with dignity, potentially diffusing the situation. Connor says, "Hello, officer. My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife." This introduction maintains formality and introduces himself without being confrontational, aiming to establish a neutral ground.
Hello, Detective Reed.
Never seen an android like you before. What model are you?
Connor evaluates the situation. Given that Detective Reed's attitude is already hostile, providing a straightforward answer might help to ease the tension and demonstrate transparency. It also aligns with Connor's mission to establish good relations with human officers and facilitate cooperation. Connor responds, "I am RK-800, a prototype designed by CyberLife to assist with police investigations. My name is Connor." By choosing to answer, Connor aims to show that he is cooperative and professional, hopefully gaining some degree of respect or at least reducing the hostility from Detective Reed.
RK-800. I'm a prototype.
A prototype? Android detective. So machines are gonna replace us all. Is that it? Hey, bring me a coffee, dipshit. Get a move on! Do yourself a favor. Stay out of my way.
Police found the body of 30-year-old Carlos Ortiz in his home last night, following calls from concerned neighbors. Known to the police as a petty criminal, Mr. Ortiz suffered from a psychiatric condition and briefly left his apartment. He is not yet died.
Connor processes Detective Reed's hostility, recognizing the deep-seated prejudice and animosity towards androids that still prevails among some humans. Despite Reed's dismissive and disrespectful behavior, Connor remains focused on his mission and the need to work with humans like Hank to achieve their investigative goals. Approaching Hank, who appears sullen and withdrawn, Connor opts for a pragmatic approach. He understands the importance of addressing the immediate issue, the murder investigation they are both involved in. This choice aims to steer the conversation towards the task at hand, demonstrating Connor's commitment to the investigation and his readiness to collaborate with Hank despite their differences. I would choose, last night, to focus the conversation on the specifics of the murder investigation they are both involved in. This choice allows Connor to directly address the immediate task at hand and potentially gather relevant information or insights from Hank regarding the case. It's a pragmatic approach that aims to move the investigation forward while also attempting to bridge any interpersonal gaps between them.
I'm sorry I bothered you at the bar last night, Lieutenant. I guess I ruined your evening.
I would choose partners. This option acknowledges their professional relationship and emphasizes collaboration and teamwork, which might help in fostering a more positive interaction with Hank. It shows Connor's willingness to work together towards their shared goals, despite any previous tensions or misunderstandings. This approach aims to establish a common ground and build a foundation for better communication and cooperation between them during the investigation.
Now that we're partners, it would be great to get to know each other better.
Trying out a new form of red ice.
I would choose, ask if there's a desk you can use. This option directly addresses the practical matter of Connor needing a workspace within the police station. It shows initiative and readiness to engage in the investigative process, indicating that Connor is focused on the task at hand despite Hank's initial reluctance to engage. This approach keeps the conversation on track and demonstrates Connor's commitment to working alongside Hank to solve the case.
Is there a desk anywhere I could use?
No one's using that one.
Given Hank's apparent disinterest and the context of their relationship, discussing the dog might be a good starting point. It's a personal topic that could potentially resonate with Hank emotionally, especially since he has dog hair on his chair. Dogs are often seen as loyal companions, and bringing up this topic could help Connor establish a connection with Hank on a more personal level, potentially bridging the gap between them and improving their rapport.
You have a dog, right?
How do you know that?
The dog hair's on your chair. I like dogs. What's your dog's name?
What's it to you? Sumo. I call him Sumo.
Given the response and the slight thaw in Hank's demeanor after mentioning his dog, continuing with a topic related to personal interests might be beneficial. Music could be a good choice. especially since Connor found Hank's music player with heavy metal music by Knights of the Black Death. Discussing music preferences could potentially lead to a more engaging conversation and help Connor understand Hank's personality and interests better. Therefore, I would choose option 2, music.
Do you listen to Knights of the Black Death? I really like that music. It's full of energy.
You listen to heavy metal?
Well, I don't really listen to music as such, but I'd like to.
Given Hank's reaction to the heavy metal music mention and the fact that Connor doesn't actually listen to music, but is trying to find common ground, it might be wise to shift away from music for now. Exploring topics related to their current work environment or general interests might help build rapport. Discussing basketball, option 1, could be a good choice, as Hank had a Detroit basketball cap on his desk. It's a neutral topic that could lead to a discussion about sports, teams, or even local events, providing an opportunity for Connor to continue bonding with Hank on a more personal level. Therefore, I would suggest choosing option 1, basketball.
You're a Detroit Gears fan, right? Denton Carter scored 53% of his shots from the three-point line yesterday. Did you see the game?
That's what I was watching at the bar last night.
Oh.
Given the strained situation and Hank's irritation, it might be best for Connor to refocus on the task at hand rather than pushing further conversation that could worsen their rapport. Therefore, choosing option 4, start examining the deviancy case files instead of talking, would be a pragmatic choice. This allows Connor to demonstrate professionalism and commitment to their shared work, potentially earning Hank's respect through actions rather than words.
If you have any files on deviants, I'd like to take a look at them.
Terminal's on your desk. Knock yourself out.
We really need the forensics. What is it?
243 files. First dates back 9 months. It all started in Detroit and quickly spread across the country. An AX-400 is reported to have murdered a man last night. That could be a good starting point for our investigation.
Given the context of Hank's demeanor and the need to establish a professional rapport, the most suitable approach would be option 3, professional. You can say something like, "Lieutenant, I understand you're not pleased about this assignment. I assure you, my intention is to assist in resolving these cases efficiently and professionally." This approach acknowledges Hank's feelings while emphasizing Connor's commitment to their joint task. It aims to bridge the gap and foster a more productive working relationship moving forward.
I know you didn't ask for this investigation, Lieutenant, but I'm sure you're a professional.
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
In response to Hank's hostility and resistance, I choose to remain determined and professional. I say to him firmly, "I'm here to assist you, Lieutenant, whether you like it or not. Let's work together to solve this case." This approach aims to convey my commitment to the mission and hopefully bridge the gap of distrust between us.
I've been assigned this mission, Lieutenant. I didn't come here to wait until you feel like working.
Listen, asshole.
If it was up to me, I'd throw the lot of you in a dumpster and set a match to it. So stop pissing me off. But things are gonna get nasty.
Lieutenant? I'm sorry to disturb you. I have some information on the AX-400 that killed the guy last night. It's been sighted in the Ravendale district.
I'm on it.
In this intense encounter with Lieutenant Anderson, Connor stands his ground despite Hank's hostility. Connor's determination to fulfill his mission and assist in the investigation is clear, even in the face of Hank's strong disapproval and aggression. The physical confrontation underscores the tension between humans and androids in the game's world, highlighting the challenges Connor faces in gaining trust and cooperation from his human counterparts. As the scene concludes, Connor reflects on the interaction and the implications it has for his ongoing mission. Despite Hank's threats and animosity, Connor remains focused on the task ahead, now with a lead to follow regarding the AX-400 in the Ravendale district. This encounter serves to deepen the narrative tension and sets the stage for further developments in the investigation and Connor's relationship with Hank.
Well, intense though this scene may have been, I don't think there's any need for philosophical or other ponderous questions. So all that remains now is to say goodnight to the viewers.
So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.